this is Lanzo90, and welcome to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. I'm just going to do a short tutorial video this time on career mode to show how to do some basic research that's easy to get at the start, and then achieve orbital flight. So this is career mode, so we don't have much to choose from, so we have to have this capsule at least. Then I'm going to put a fuel tank under it. And I'm going to take one of these struts here in the structural category. I'm going to press X 4 times, that'll make it so it has four-way symmetry. I'll also press C, that'll make it lock into place. I'll place it there. The same settings. I'm going to put these 4 fuel tanks there. Put those 4 command pods like that. Don't need anything else. We're not actually going to launch this. As you can see, it's really weird looking, so it's not going to launch. What this is for is to get as much research as we can do on the launch pad without having to do anything. Just fire all these Kerbals. This is the tab up here at the top where you can put all the Kerbals in, because we need all 5 for this. And launch. We don't have to save this design or anything. We're only going to use it once. And if you already have basic science done, you can. Whoa, hoo, hoo. That's odd. Can it stop? That shouldn't be happening. So it even thinks that's flying okay. Wow, I don't know why that's happening. I just basically told press the quit button there. Okay, that shouldn't have happened. I think the only thing that was I didn't put these low enough. So we'll lower those down. Fill that back up, and try it again. Should be fine now. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so ignore that first part there. What we're going to do is we're going to right click on all these capsules and keep the crew reports. And then we're going to EVA our Kerbals. They don't have to get off of the spaceship. Take a surface sample. EVA report. Get back in the pod. Next Kerbal. Do the same thing. Keep the data. Get back in the pod. Next one. Uh-oh. He fell over. Sometimes you have to make them jump to get back in. Yeah, click this to scroll over to the other 2. Surface sample, EVA report. The last one. No, don't fall. Oh. You might not be able to get back up. It's not too important, but it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so he's going to have to go home separately. So let's switch to the capsule. Cover the vessel. And just from that we got 26 science. We didn't even have to leave the launch pad. Now there's no more science on the launch pad left. That's the parts that we have. We also have to recover this guy separately. He wasn't worth much science anyway. Basically, that got us the first piece of technology for free. We still have 21 left. The engine is nice. These aren't too important right now. These are nice. I think this is more important. Yeah, this is more important because this leads to science. Science is pretty important. Did that come with science parts? No, this one did. Okay. Now, did all that. So now what we need to do is use these new science parts to get even more science. Again, we're just going to do this on the launch pad. That's why we have 4. Normally 4 would be too much to carry really anywhere. But since we're not moving, it doesn't matter how many of these we put on the ship. And recover the vessel. Spotted more science. Go back to here. Let's see, we need 45 for that science stuff. That's not too important yet. To do this twice. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're using the WAS and D keys to move the craft into the direction we want to go, and then we press E or Q to make it roll in that direction. We have to get off the launch pad. I'm not exactly sure how far off, but I just like to get to the base here. Uh-oh. If that happens, you have to switch your key that you're rolling with. Switch it again. Okay, now we're off the launch pad. Okay. Observe the goo. Observe the goo. Observe the goo. Data. Crew report. Crew report. This is different science than was on the launch pad, by the way. I already did that guy. Got confused about which one I did. the data, or recover the ship rather, and the data. 9 science. Where does that put us? Get that now. Kind of want that engine. I mean, that fuel tank is the main thing I want. I don't think we'll get too much farther here with the easy to grab stuff. I think we're already out of that stuff. So the entire thing. No, I think we actually have to do some flying because we're out of new science tools. So we're gonna need this coupler. We're gonna need parachute. Not going very high, so let's use this really small engine. I mean, this really small fuel tank, this really small engine. Or do I want to go high? Maybe not yet. I'm not going high in the area. Just a little bit. This thing's probably light enough I didn't have to put that engine, or I didn't have to put a decoupler on this really. So we're going to press the T button to activate the SAS. Just make sure you're going straight up. Then we press shift to throttle up. So space again to eject the that stage. And then once we start to fall, gonna activate the next stage, which is the parachute. Pressing the period key to time accelerate, you can just ignore that message really. Before we get to 500 meters up, we want to slow down the time acceleration back to 1. We're good. I'm actually going kind of fast. I think we'll be okay. Slow it back down near impact. Okay, we made it. Recover the vessel. Okay. Now we're going to do high altitude EVA. High altitude science. Make the engine bigger pretty much. Bigger fuel tanks, bigger engine. Simply going straight up again, but this time just a lot higher. In fact, we might go too high, I'm not sure. press M, we can look at the map and we can see how high that we're gonna go. Space is at 70,000 meters up or 70 kilometers up. Gotta bring up that little nav ball thing that I just brought up in order to throttle down when you're in space, and I accidentally changed the focus to the planet, which is kind of annoying. But it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to use the rest of this fuel. We have a little bit left, but we don't need it right now. Okay, I activated the parachute, but we're so high up that it won't matter right now. So what we're doing this time is we're going to EVA. I don't think I still can't save it. So we're just taking a chance here. But when we EVA the Kerbal, we got to do it right when this orbital velocity down here is close to 0 as we can get. And then we need to do the EVA really quick and then put him back in. I hope we're not considered being in space, because all I wanted was a high altitude recording, not a space recording of data. 64,000. It should still be in the atmosphere, but it is pretty close to the to space. I don't think it will, though, unless this warp meter up here expands. Or no, this doesn't go to 0. It just goes to a solid number and stays there. EVA, press F really quick to make them grab back on, and then bring them back in. And we did it. We got the upper atmosphere. Now we can do these two things in the upper atmosphere. Okay, I had to do that really quick without really explaining it. But you EVA the Kerbal, and then you press the F key really quick so he grabs back onto the capsule, and then right click on him and keep the data, and then put him back in the capsule. And now we time accelerate. I already activated the parachute, so it should eventually deploy. Slow down just a little bit before it deploys. Oh wow, we're having re-entry effects. If you have re-entry effects, you should also slow down time, just in case something bad happens. Basically, for every time acceleration you're doing, every G-force your craft is going under is multiplied too. Well, now we're getting close to shoot pool. It will make times 4 time acceleration. Landing. Can accelerate after it's deployed. You can accelerate again back to landing, but not when you land, because that'll multiply the impact force. And there we go. Probably do that multiple times. In fact, we're gonna need to, I think. Okay. The best thing to do once you have this much of the tech tree unlocked, and then you get up to 45 science again, is to get this one and get this science package so you can do more science. But since I want to show getting into orbit, I really want this fuel tank here, so I'm going to do that next. I'm just going to do some quick things to get a little bit more science, and then I will continue recording. Okay, I did one more of those upper atmosphere flights and got the last part that I wanted. So now I'm going to demonstrate how to achieve orbital flight. So we're using this capsule again. Then we need a decoupler. Then we need just about this engine, or that fuel tank, I should say. Then this engine. And another decoupler. This engine, or that, I keep calling an engine, it's a fuel tank. Should we extend it a little bit? Just by that much. And this engine. Drag this part up to here. Put this. You can put science stuff on this if you wanted. No more than 2 of these things, though. And this will work. Should. This time we're not gonna go straight up though, like we have been. Well, at first we are. But it's not going to be only straight up. Okay, so the first thing to check what's actually going to do something is you have to watch your speed. There's not really an easy way to keep track of this other than to have another window open somewhere through there. Basically, you can accelerate up to 110 miles per hour by 1,000 meters. You can do that really quickly. Then after that, you have to turn down your throttle, press the control key, because otherwise you start hitting the atmosphere faster, which increases the drag, so makes you less fuel efficient. At 8,000 meters, we're going to start turning to the east, pressing the V key. It's also right on the press the A key to make sure you're on what I usually do is I stay at the 90-degree mark, and then I bring up the map. And we want to get this apoapsis to 70,000 meters. Okay, we lost this stage though. Let's use some of this stage to get there. We probably should have put a bigger fuel tank. I think we can still make it though. Yeah, we should make it. So yeah, if I were doing this again, I'd put like a another one of those really big containers of fuel on board. You can do it with this, but you have to be careful. And on the first stage, by the way, it won't help to have it on this stage, really. Now we're going to time accelerate till we get close to 72,000. I'll probably start at 70,000 just to make sure that we make it. Okay, we're about to reach 70,000. Now we want to point completely east, which is to the right till you're right between this blue and orange over here. So apoapsis starts to get really close, and it doesn't look like you're going to get to orbital yet. You want to point back to the left again to make sure that the apoapsis gets put back up a little bit. Then move it back to the right if you can. You should make it. careful with the fuel here. We're running low. Oh, that's not enough fuel. Oh, look at that. 71,000 for the periapsis. But there's no way to get him back. So that messed up just a little bit. I needed a little bit more fuel, but that's how you do it. Just put another fuel tank on the first stage and you'll be able to have enough fuel on this stage to bring them back. You can always try to send a rescue mission of some sort, but actually there is a way. It's a little bit more of an advanced concept, but I'll show it just for fun. So we're gonna bring the pod over till we get close to the Sapoaps. Okay. Now what we're gonna do, fortunately it's dark on this side, but what we're gonna do is point that in that direction. Actually we can go to the next stage so that we're a little bit lighter. EVA our Kerbal, and press R to turn on his RCS system, which lets him fly. Go up. It's hard when this is dark, but okay. Press shift to go up and control to go down. The other keys do it. Oops. Okay, what we're gonna have to do is push him into this capsule. Oh no, this isn't really working because the bottom of the capsule is like rounded. I hope we don't have to do this long. Oops, I'm going too high. Still a lot of fuel left. I probably should have kept that engine on. It would have made the surface a little bit flatter. Okay. Whoa. I think I pressed shift instead of forward. Ooh. Basically what we're doing is we're using his RCS pack as an engine. Except I'm not doing it well. Okay, here we go. This is working. Yes, we're deorbiting. You can right click on them to make sure you have fuel left. This should work though. Okay, that should be. Hopefully that's enough. Let's see. 63,000. It's so hard when this is dark. Just whoa. I don't know what happened there. Okay, we're gonna put him back in. The capsule is like not pointing the right direction or anything. He's flying around. Okay. You could go out and do it again. Every time you go back in your capsule, you refill his RCS system that he uses to get around. But now that it's under 70,000, it's slowly going to deorbit. It's probably going to take a few trips around, like we'll see here. Like, okay, we just hit the atmosphere now. Whoa. This thing is like really responsive. Okay. Now we can watch the apoaps. Let's see, the apoaps is going down very slowly because we're hitting the atmosphere. Periaps is going down. It's probably going to take multiple orbits to do this. I'm only going to show one orbit, but yeah, eventually it's going to, he's eventually going to make it down to the surface. Unfortunately, we can only do ×4 time acceleration while this is going on. I'm just going to go past the periaps once to see how low we can get with one orbit. That's going down. Farther down we go, the quicker we slow down. Probably should have just reverted as soon as I realized I wouldn't have enough fuel. Reverted to launch and put another fuel cell on this. But I demonstrated the emergency way to make sure you get your capsule back home. It's a little bit difficult to do, especially on the dark side, but it'll work. Even though it didn't get him down far enough into the atmosphere, he's eventually going to come back down. Because this is slowly degrading, and every time he orbits, it'll go down a little bit more. See, this time he isn't going to even leave the atmosphere now, because they're both under 70,000. When you re-enter the atmosphere, you want to try to keep yourself pointed towards the direction. It's called the retrograde direction on your nav ball. It looks like that. It has like an X through it. The other one that looks like that doesn't have an X. It's actually called the prograde direction. The deeper we get, the further down these values will go. As you can see, it's going really fast over here now. Okay, we achieved orbit. We just couldn't bring them back easily. There's always ways to deal with that. All I needed was that very smallest fuel cell on the first stage would have been enough fuel. That would have been enough fuel so that the second stage would have had enough fuel to bring them back. But I underestimated. But it might be even more valuable to just put the a second one of the biggest fuel stages on there. But yeah, that's how you get to orbit, and an emergency way to get out of orbit. You could keep getting back in and out of the capsule and doing that as much as you wanted to get it down even lower. But I got it below 70,000, so I figured that was enough. I'm not going to show this thing fully deorbiting because it's going to take too long. But hope you all enjoyed, and have a good day.